This is a JBL LSR305. And they're highly recommended. And everybody recommends them. And now I'm going to recommend them because I own this pair. I got it on Mass Drop. It was a decent deal. I think I got it for like $240 for the pair. And that's irrelevant, the cost. The cost is irrelevant because these are the best speakers I've ever put on a desk. Ever. I say that a lot. Like the Martin Logan LX16 is the best tweeter. The best tweeter. And the Shane's the best low end. This is a whole speaker. Now, it's a self-powered monitor, which means a couple things to you. You don't need an amplifier. You do still need a DAC or some sort of sound. Your sound card will work fine for that. But you need to run power to this, and you need to run signal to this. Now, it comes with an XLR and a 1/4 inch, like that. And you could buy these adapters, and then you just need an RCA. Fine. It's got a couple options back here. Volume knob, which, since it's individual, you're not going to want to be like, oh, hold on, let me lower that. Oh, now they're not even. So, you're going to want a preamp, which you could use your computer for that. In other words, just put this up to 10, put that up to 10, lower the computer's volume, and then you just raise and lower your computer's volume. That'll work fine. It's a little annoying. I'm using my Emotiva XDA2, which has XLR outputs. So I'm using that as my preamp for the first time. It's being a preamp, like a preamp. And, yeah. I'm glad I bought these and then borrow them, because then I'd end up buying them. Low frequency trim, ±2. High frequency trim, ±2. And these are really small increments. You know, 2 decibels is hardly noticeable, even if like you're concentrating. And they only really work at this sort of distance, desk distance. Which these speakers don't just work at desk distance. Because I had these speakers up on my main stands and on those stands and everywhere I could put these speakers up. I've put them up because of how good they are. I had to know. Here's the decibel sensitivity input. I don't know if you have to change this based on which input you're using, because I've only used the XLR so far. But right now it's at -10 dBV, which is working fine for this. And then I guess you switch it to +4 dBu, maybe if you're using this. I don't know. I'll check that out. The power cords it comes with are 4 feet long, which is as long as this desk. And that was a joke, because I had them up on stands, which are 3 feet high. And I had to be within, like, shot of that plug, and then there was no plug over there. It was terrible. So I went online and I bought 15-foot power cords for it, because Monoprice has really cheap power cords. And I would recommend you get something, unless you have one of those bar strips across your desk, you're going to want longer power cords for these to use them in a room. Now, so you feed it signal, RCA from a DAC, or you can even buy the RCA to 1/4 inch, or if you've got a Pro interface, you could just go XLR. Let me talk about why these exist and why people use them. Because this RCA, that everything uses, that you're pretty much looking at, is 2 volt. So if there's interference along the length of it, if there's a 1/4 volt of interference that's getting shoved in there, that's an eighth. An eighth of the signal is getting interference. This is 6 volt. That's the only difference. So now, since it's 6 volt, and you're running it around the room, the same quarter volt of interference doesn't affect it that much. It's, you know, math. Smaller than an eighth by quite a bit. A third. It's 1/24th. And that's why professionals use this type of connector. They use the XLR. Just because for longer runs, which if you're in a recording studio and you've got amps here and you've got mics there and you've got people in the studio back there, you've got to run all this stuff very long distances, so you got to use this. Keep the interference down. Now, that doesn't mean you have to keep the interference down. If you're going 3 feet, you don't have to do it. You're going 6 feet, you don't have to do it. Even up to 10, 12 feet, I wouldn't bother with XLR. RCAs work fine. But I bought these 25-foot extensions because I have to go from there down all the way around and up there. So I'll actually link to these. These are really, really nice. Yongsheng. Whatever. I'll find what these are. I got these for $12 a piece, and they're 25 foot, and they're super well packaged and everything. And they just plug right in there. Now, these work everywhere. Like I said, they're a whole speaker and they work everywhere. What does that mean? I mean, I started this review off saying they're the best speakers ever, and now I'm just talking about interfaces and stuff because I'm at actually a loss for words. You see this tweeter, this thing looking right here in your face, like a evil what the hell is it called? Cyclops from Jason and the Argonauts. I think that was that movie. Yeah. This is the waveguide around here, and it's been talked about. I think Strategic talked about it too. About they make the sound that comes out of this tweeter, because there's a normal-ish tweeter, and it shapes it. And it shapes it so good. I plugged in. Where's my power? Have I lost it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, the basic rule of thumb is plug in speaker, TV resets. It's perfectly natural. Where do you buy these for? What do you got to do? Because right now, these will work right here. Arm's length, you could touch them both. They work. You want to point it at you. Even though they got those crazy waveguides, just point them straight at you. These have the best stereo imaging I've ever heard. And what that means is when I put on, let's see, Killer Mike's Blockbuster Night, and I'm sitting right here, there's a little man right in the middle of this Behringer logo just singing. And I have no idea these speakers exist. Holographic stereo imaging is what I would coin that phrase if I was JBL, and I'd put it on all the boxes, because that's what these do. These just, they say good speakers disappear when you listen to them. Well, they're right, because these just go away. You could just get a black sheet here and just, play something. Oh, you gotta have like 9 speakers back there, because you got a guy singing there, and you got some drums over here. And they're not here. They just, sound comes out of them, and it's like it's an audible illusion, all of it. From now on, from this day, whenever this video is published forth, when anyone asks what's the best I can get for $300 for my desk, it's going to be these and, well, these. If you can get a DAC squeezed in there, you get the SD793 or I think someone said the SAP 6 is out with a DAC in it. Whatever it is, if you can get a DAC and these, that's my recommendation. Fluence SX6, Micas, Daytons, anything else that I recommend is strictly there now because you can't afford these. Once you can afford these, that's what you get for your desk. Could they use a sub? Well, yes, anything can use a sub. That's the thing. That's the thing. These do low end. Like they mean it. Like they're getting paid to do it. And they love their job. So, do you need a sub? I'd try them without it. See if you could live with the low end these produce. And I have the little frequency bump up to 2 dB because I'm here. If they're up there or out there and it's doing a room, when they're doing a room, you're like, wow. When you're doing a desk, the bass is less wow because there's no room for it to happen. And keep in mind, I am pretty far from that wall. You do not want these squeezed against the wall. In fact, if you were going to do a desk, like this is a desk, you had your monitor here, I would recommend getting some stands, probably not those, something taller, you have the adjustable ones, and putting these, 6 inches further out, 6 inches further back. Get them off your desk, keep them away from the walls, let them perform. Let them perform at you, because that's what they're designed to do. JBL has had a real weird rep for home audio. They're like the biggest speaker brand in the world. In the world. Because they do all professional stuff. They do all the movie theaters. They do all the THX Lucasfilms. Every studio's got JBL stuff in it. And they've only just, I'm not going to say they've only just, but they've been in the public market. Like you used to be able to go to the Wiz and listen to JBL stuff. But none of it's been very good. And all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, is these and those Studio 350s, and I'm going to get a JBL shirt, maybe get a logo that hangs up there, and I'm going to just dedicate my life to the Church of JBL. Because they know what the fuck they're doing. There's more research money at JBL for speakers than at any of those boutique places that sell $1 million speakers. There's just more people actively on slide calculators, just figuring things out. And you can hear it with these. You just sense the purpose of them. Now, since you're probably interested in buying them, keep in mind they are sold individually. So that's something you got to look out for. If you see them for like 200, oh my god, that might be just one. Make sure it's two. People do sell them as a group with like wires. Or they sell them individually with nothing. Shop. Amazon's got like 900 places to buy it. I appreciate if you do buy them through my links. It'd be wonderful because then I could pay for them. And although they weren't that expensive, holy god, I'd love to hear the next level up. I think they do. Are they 308s? I have to look. I haven't looked on the interwebs because I'd be so afraid of clicking the buy button. There's nothing wrong with these speakers. There's no grill. Why would you want one? It looks like an angry Cyclops. If I built a robot out of speakers that was going to kill humanity, there's its head. So the WAF is probably low, considering that's where I put these speakers. But honey, they look like a cyborg head that's going to kill you. That doesn't fly with the misses. The white LED here is acceptable. It's an acceptable LED. They don't shut off automatically, so as long as they're on, which may bother you, may not bother you. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to reach back here. Even I can't find the damn thing. Where is it? There it is. And you turn it on and it does take a second. Or more than a second. Several seconds. They have no fault. That's it. They have no fault. They do low end amazing. Their highs are absolutely perfect and neutral. Are they now? I said the Martin Logan LX16s were the best tweet I've ever heard. That stands. These just deliver highs in a better way. So maybe it isn't as much detail as those LX16s or the Motion 1500s, but these have low end and these can do the pinpoint. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about there. Everywhere. The stereo separation is the most on point I've ever heard. Mostly because of that crazy waveguide. No! No, you ruined it. Alright. Gotta calm down. Gotta calm down. Things have to be calm now. Buy them. That's it. I can't give you anything else. I can't tell you anything else. You need longer power cords if you're going to do anything. 4 feet is not long enough to go from here is 4 feet in a straight line. If your plug is further away than that, you need a new... I don't know why they give you 4s. They give you 4s because they're expecting this to be in a studio setting, and you don't have one. So you need longer power cords. You need RCAs, individual RCAs, because obviously the speakers are farther apart. Then they're not going to go left and right. You have to go left and right. So you need separate RCAs, which you can look up stereo subwoofer cables if you want to get long ones. You need extra power cables. And then the ultimate detriment to powered monitors has always been, okay, I want to upgrade now. Throw them away. You're not getting a better amp. You can get a better DAC. At least you can get a better DAC. But they're whole. They're this, and that's it. There's no improving it. You could add a subwoofer. It'll be a real pain in the ass. I could actually add a subwoofer pretty easily with the Emotiva because I could send the RCA outs to a sub and send the XLR outs to these, and then I have one volume control. That's the problem, is when you have Here's your signal coming out of your DAC, RCA left and right. Now you've got to get it to a sub, out of the sub, and into your speakers. Which you could do with a Y connector, literally a Y splitter. But then you're sending full range to these, and your full range to that, and that's going to cut off wherever, and these are going to cut off nowhere. They're trying to go as low as possible, so you're going to have a bit of crowding, which is why it's a pain in the balls. Just pain in the balls. Now I could also hook these up to my Tascam with pre-outs, set my crossover in that to like 80 hertz, send everything 80 hertz to a sub, and then everything above 80 hertz to these, and it'll be fine. That's also a possibility. I don't think not many people have a receiver with pre-outs, a receiver with a sub out and pre-outs. It just doesn't happen. So, as easy as these are, they're also hard. They require different things than just, you know, wire, amp, speaker wire, and speaker wire. You got to run all the way around the building, and it costs $6, and it doesn't matter where you put it. You have to have power near these, and you got to run signal to these. So things have to all be concentrated. I'd absolutely recommend these for a living room to do a television. If you have a television speaker, you know, television speakers, if you can get these and somehow control the volume to them. If you have a Sony television that has, this is not a Sony, it's a Kobe, but it's got the same 4 letters and it ends in a Y and an O, so I could just sort of like write the S. If your television will output a variable and you can plug the variable into this, then that would be the best solution ever for a television. Just on its own. God, I want these to work in every situation, and it's just, I could see the problems and the questions in the comments already, and the video's brand new. I could just see, well, I got these, and now I'm looking at, it's doable, it's all doable, and it's all worth the effort. Because they're so fucking good. And that's it. That's all I could say. They're so good. And this is my top recommendation now, until something else comes along to beat them, which is going to be real hard at this price point. Like impossible. Like don't count on it. Like you better get used to looking at those, because that's what you're buying.